Hey there, Wargamers, Justin our Paint here, and today we're going to check out some Mundus Imperialis. As we get started today, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. If you are new here, please alpha strike that like, subscribe button, and if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for tuning in to continue to help support what I do. That said, I'd like to give a big shout out today as we get started to Thunderhead, Chris, for continuing to help support my channel. Really cool guy, and we've been working with him since kind of the inception of what he is doing, and he has continued to help support what I'm doing here, and without him, I would not be getting these free products to review, so I appreciate that, and I'm a smaller channel, so it's really nice to have that connection and have that support from him, so thank you so much, Chris. I appreciate that. Secondly, I would like to thank Battlefront Miniatures / Gale Force 9 for helping facilitate getting these products to me as well. So not only does Chris kind of get to help cherry pick some of the content creators that he would also like to see products sent to, that company sends them to me, and you know, it's not free for them, it was free for me. These are free products, but they also listened to what he recommended and sent me free products too, and without them I would not have these either. So they have produced them, they have shipped them, and they ate all the costs, so thank you guys, I appreciate that. Trying to do content here on YouTube can get costly when you're trying to buy onesie twosies of everything that comes out, especially things like this that can be a little bit expensive. It adds up. It's really nice to be able to get some to be able to do content for you guys and raise some awareness for the product. So big shout out again to Chris from Thunderheadstudios and Battlefront Miniatures / Gale Force 9. Thank you guys so much for sending me stuff here to review on the channel. Next up for our March 22nd release, and as this video goes up, I think it'll be a little after the 22nd because I split these up. We have got the Mundus Imperialis Roads and the Mundus Imperialis Highways. These two particular kits from the most recent Mundus Imperialis release are some that I'm the most excited to get open and dig into. From Chris's back catalog of products, he's got the Hextech line, and I'm a big fan of the Roads. In those reviews, I talked about why you might want to get multiples of those, so I'll be curious to see how much board coverage you get on these, and if buying one of each is going to be kind of a one and done, or if you need more. But that said, I'm a really big fan of having Roads on the table because it's really nice and breaks things up, and these look like they might have a couple of buildings in there as well. So that said, let's go ahead and pop these open and check them out. All right, guys, so the thing that I'm the most excited about from this set, which is funny because it's Roads, but is going to be the Highways and Roads from the Mundus Imperialis release from Gale Force 9. So these I'm very excited about checking out, and without that said, we're going to go ahead and pop these open. So one of the things that I have been trying to talk about in every video is just my excitement for Chris Thunderhead being able to get into this space. Started by doing stuff for kind of Battletech, and by extension that stuff kind of got worked in a little bit for Alpha Strike, but him kind of getting into the game of doing stuff that's a good product for Games Workshop stuff, the big dog on the market, the #1 market share for miniature board gaming is really cool. I'm not a big GW fan these days, but there's no denying what they bring to the market, and him being able to get in that is really cool. So I'm really excited for him to see what he continues to do, and if this does really well, that just kind of makes him some more money and incentivizes him to make more stuff like this for not only this, but hopefully Battletech as well. So I'm really excited about that and really excited for Chris. So that said, this is our box here. I'm not sure what the value is on this, how much it cost. My invoice shows $0 for obvious reasons because they sent this to me for free. We got our Thunderhead branding in the bottom as well. So is there value in this immediately before I even open? I'm going to tell you probably yes. I'm a big fan of the Hextech Roads that I've gotten before, and I think these are going to be no different. These are going to be nice set dressing for your table, both for gameplay as well as doing stuff for like campaigns and just immersion for your game. So I think these are going to have a good value. So we've got a bunch of these to open. So we got boom, 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 boom. So let's go ahead and pop these open. Schwap, 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 schwap. Bonus, schwap, schwap. All right, so that is our first box to open here. Got through, I have so much bubble wrap on the floor over here. It's crazy. So we have got 2 of these like kind of termination points. Looks like they would go kind of underground, like a tunnel. Then we've got 2 curves. We've got 4 straights. We've got a tri-intersection, sort of like 2, like a kind of like a big highway and then a small. 2 additional intersections, and then a 4-way intersection. So not much to really say about these other than the fact that they are roads. We will showcase them, but let's give you guys a peek. So let me zoom in so you can get a little closer look. And this is what we've got here. So one of the things I will say is they are a little flexible, and my Hextech ones that I have purchased because they're stored in the garage and it gets a little bit warm. When they get really warm, they do really bend, and then they get stuck, and you have to heat them up kind of to bend them back into place. And then when they get cold, really cold, which it's cold today, it's not as cold, so they're still bending, but when they're cold, they get really brittle, and I've broken some because I dropped them. So be cognizant of the temperature and where you store them, and probably try and store them somewhere where they can lay flat. So that is a thing to be aware of. Now these are basically just, you know, kind of a gray with a dry brush, and then you've got your white lines here. Personally, the immediate hobby thing I would probably do is to put a dark wash over this just to make the roads darker, or maybe tape off these areas and spray that with a little bit of a thin down kind of black ink or something, so that you get more of the juxtaposition between dark asphalt and gray here. They're very, very close. Like on camera, it actually looks, there's more contrast on the camera than there is for my eyeballs in person. When it comes to hobby tools and paints, Monument Hobbies has the best in the business. Their Pro Acrylic paint line offers unmatched coverage and vibrant colors, perfect for all of your miniature projects. And with high quality tools to match, you'll always be ready to create. Save 5% on your order with the coupon code ARMEDPAINTER. Elevate your hobby game with Monument Hobbies. In terms of detail levels on these, I will say be careful with this, because that right there, I just heard it a little bit, that is not as soft as this. So this is a slightly different material. This area right here, be very careful. You drop that, you might break it. So these are going to have some fragility to them. In terms of detail here, that's actually not metallic, which some of these other buildings had metallic doors. But having this metallic here, if you wanted to come in and do a wash of sorts over and a dry brush, that would work out really well. These vents here, painting those silver might be nice too. And then you could come in and paint this little glass window here if you wanted to. If I was coming in to do extra detail, which I'm too lazy to, but if I wanted to, I'd probably paint those smokestacks black, dry brush them so they look sooty and dirty, just as a nice juxtaposition for the whole building. But in terms of something tabletop ready, I think that this is really great. In all the videos, I've tried to talk about the value, even though I don't know the price. But as I get older, I have more time for, or less time for gaming or doing anything really. So I have to choose, how do I want to spend my time? Do I want to spend time hobbying, or do I want to spend time building and painting terrain? So in this particular case, there's value here for me because I can buy this and I don't have to worry about it, and I can spend more time working on painting my minis. If you're a hobbyist who likes to build and paint their own terrain, this may not be for you, but it might be for you because you might be able to get this and get some of those hobby juices flowing by painting a little bit more on this and bringing the detail level up to supplement your homemade stuff that you have. So there might be some value for you. That said, these guys are going to hook together like so. And that's got a bit more of a positive kind of interface, because it's kind of grooving kind of like that right in here and here. That spot right there, because there's a little bit of a lip. So the connection with these is a bit more of a locking mechanism versus what you're getting from the Hextech. So I really like that. And I honestly think my assessment of the Hextech roads, saying that you're probably going to want to get multiple sets, is probably going to be the same for this, because there's not a lot of roads here, so you might want more. If you've got this Urban Zone mat from Table War, these roads are also basically almost a perfect fit. Not all the way to the concrete, but the road part itself, these will cover it, which is really, really nice. And then we've got an intersection right over here. Really, really nice. And then the four-way, we've got, we've got a four-way highway here. Look at that. So Urban Zone is gonna be your jam if you pick up the highways and roads from Gale Force's new set here, because these line up really good on this mat, and you're just gonna need a bunch of them to cover that stuff. That said, if you want to cover the whole mat with it, it's gonna need a bunch. If you want to make sure these integrate well and don't want to do the whole mat, don't use this mat. Use one without roads so that you can put your roads down. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get these kind of locked together here and work on trying to get some form of a semblance of like a little bit of a road here. And looks like for our highway, which I bet this is probably going to integrate with that. So we'll set this kind of over here and we'll connect it, and we'll see. I'll slide the stuff out of the way after I connect it all, and we'll see if the highways connect in with the roads, which would make perfect sense to me. Let's go ahead and give ourselves kind of a, let's actually curve this upwards as I play around with our stuff here. So some of the interlocking is nice, but when these guys have a slight warp to them, they're a little bit harder to get these to connect. Not the end of the world, but just be aware. So let's go ahead and give ourselves a straightaway here. Okay, boom. And then we'll give ourselves a T, because who doesn't want to have a T intersection here? Give ourselves a straightaway, give ourselves another little curve. We've got our additional kind of T here, so we'll put it kind of like that. And then we'll give ourselves kind of a four-way intersection over here. And now I'll have to zoom out as far as I can currently go. And you can see, let's slide this back. And all that I just did, I just messed it all up. Good job, Justin. Good job for doing video content. All right, so you can see you're kind of limited a little bit on how much you can actually do in terms of board coverage here, because it doesn't do a lot. And again, much like my review for the hex roads, is I think that you are definitely going to want to get multiple sets if you want to do more stuff. I also would like to see more termination points with this type of set as well, especially with these four ways. So I would probably limit some of these unless I had ideas for where I wanted them to go, because I would want more terminations. So we'll put a termination point like right here, and then probably would have one up here, which is off screen. So we'll put one over here so you can see. So in terms of board coverage, if we were using this right now, we've got approximately 24 by right around 24, 25-ish. So if you're playing on a 4x4, another set of this would really do you well. Kind of get your roads going the way you want, and then some buildings. But we do need to open up the highways, though, because that might change what we're doing here. So let's slide these over, and we'll see what we get with the highways here. And then my opinion on if you need two sets of this may or may not change. So let's go ahead and get this bad boy open, check out what we have got. All right, so this is what we've got for our highway system here, which is quite a bit of highway, honestly. And they weren't wrapped quite like the other stuff. So some of these I was kind of intermingling because they were like three wrapped together. So we've got our termination points here, which are similar to these. Again, I'd be very careful with this because that's maybe fragile. Don't drop it. And also, I didn't give you guys a height on this. So that is right around 1 inch, a little bit over. So in terms of your height for your Atlas, you've got that. These weren't buildings per se, so I didn't think to show you guys that. We've got that. And then I guess I could probably give you guys a rough measurement on this. These are approximately 4 by 4-ish. And this one is 4 by 2.5-ish. So yeah, because it's got two of those vents versus those three, so it takes up about 2/3. So this is going to be one of our termination points for our roads. So pretty neat there. And we've got some roads with a little bit of a barricade in here. And much like the or highways, and much like the roads, I would probably want to put a little bit of wash or airbrush over the black here just to really drive that home. On camera, the contrast is a little bit better than it is in person. In person, they're very similar in color. So we've got two with the barricade, we've got two without, we've got two curves, we've got one four-way intersection, we've got one left-right turn, and then we've got two T's. So one of the things I think that these add value for is for a tabletop campaign for games of Alpha Strike. You could use this to where cars or vehicles could maybe go through one and then come out another, right? Or maybe if it's a long turn or it's a long distance, maybe it's like they go in one turn, next turn they're off table, then the turn after maybe they come out. Or maybe they're off board and you don't know when they're going to come on and they come out of one of these at random. Actually, that's a pretty dope ass idea for a tabletop battle report, is to have some tanks and stuff scrambling to come fight the invading forces, and the invading force doesn't know which one of these they're coming out of. That's a sick idea. So future Justin, don't forget to try that. These termination points, much like the previous one, some washes on the metal parts would be good. Probably if I cared to paint some more, painting the smokestacks black and dry brushing them, doing a little bit of grime and rust in some places would be good. But in terms of my personal preference, I'd probably just play with these. As I mentioned before, I have less time every day. It seems to be getting any hobbying in, so I want to spend that time on minis, and I want to be able to get my games going quickly, so these are nice for that. Let's see for the highway. So we've got our urban zone from Table War here. This matches up to the highway on the edges pretty good. The border here with this stuff, this trim, doesn't line up perfect, but when you line up just the road portion, it's almost perfect. So that's really good. So I feel like, is this going to integrate with the roads? Yes. So this T intersection is going to integrate with the roads. So let's see what we can't get up or get on the table here real quickly, integrating our highways and our road system. All right, guys, so just playing with this, I've noticed the same thing that I did mention for the Hextech roads and so forth, is you're probably going to want to get another set of this, because trying to get all the curves and the straightaways and the things that you want, the termination points, you're probably not going to have something that's 100% what you want right out of the box. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think that if you want to have more freedom with your roads, you're probably going to want to get more sets. I really like the fact that the highways and the roads integrate. I think that is very cool in terms of the set itself. So I think there's a lot of value in that, getting one of each. Would I get 2 of the highway? Probably not. I think I might get another one of the roads to supplement, because the highways are big, but you could go 2 of each and probably not go too wrong with that. The amount of board coverage is going to be really, really nice, and I really dig this. So the one caveat or one critique I think I would give for this set is I think there needs to be more types of terminations or hubs, because I've got areas like over here where just what I had from these 2 box sets, I run out of things to put there, and the same thing with this, and if not more in the box, which I'm not going to go back and change the box, but since there isn't more in the box, I would love to see a new product released with additional termination points. So stuff like this, or like this right here, these nice curves, areas where you can have something more intricate to go in and then terminate into. So like if this just ended in like a barricade with some Jersey barriers or something where it's like road under construction or it's destroyed, like actually some termination points where the road turns to rubble would be choice. Like Chris, if you're watching this, like terminate, yeah, 100% termination points where the road goes into destroyed, ruined, rubbly stuff would be freaking awesome, because like these termination points are dope, but that would give you a really easy way to just have a box full of them. So all these little extra areas you can have road construction or broken stuff, and that would help make your terminations not be so abrupt. So that's probably my only main critique with this particular set. I'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with me today. Hopefully you found this first look at the Mundus Imperialis terrain useful for you, and if not, sound off in the comments below. Is this going to be a instant pickup for you, a pass, or are you somewhere in between? I'd love to hear your thoughts, your critiques, your concerns, anything at all. I know some of you guys might be using this for your games of Warhammer Epic, whatever they're calling it now, but if you're watching the channel, honestly, you're probably a Battletech fan, so this might resonate with you from the Alpha Strike perspective. In either case, I'd love to hear what you guys think and what you have to say. That said, folks, that's all I've got for you today. As always, keep painting your models, keep rolling your dice, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and being here with me today. I pour a lot of time and passion into every video, and I genuinely hope it adds something to your hobby experience. If you've enjoyed today's content and want to see more, consider supporting me over on Patreon. Every little bit of support helps fuel what I'm doing here, and it truly makes a difference. Whether it's a few dollars or simply sharing the channel with others, your support means the world to me and allows me to keep doing what I love and hopefully inspiring you along the way. A huge thank you as well to all my sponsors, Monument Hobbies, Fortress Miniatures and Games, Baron of Dice, and Deathor Designs as well. Their backing is vital to the channel, and if you're in the market for top quality paints, miniatures, dice, or terrain, please check out their links below. Not only will you be picking up some great products, but you'll also be supporting this growing community we share together. Thank you so much for watching, and for your time, and for being a part of this journey with me. As I sign off today, let's go ahead and highlight some awesome patrons who are helping fuel this journey we're on together and helping keep things going.